It.
All right. Welcome to our Power Hour. We were going to cover the topics of inviting. And so we'll start talking a little bit about that. And then we'll move into actual work time. So we'll give you tasks to do and things like that. So if you're watching the replay, I'll set a timer for us. And so it'll probably be quiet. So you might want to fast forward that part or let it run and do what we did. But basically, I want nothing to do with being salesy. So to invite, I don't do cold invites. Now you might watch other trainings and people might say to do those. So
Hey,
again,
Candace.
Yeah.
You cut out.
Oh, okay. Let's see if it'll work. And sorry, I don't know. I need better devices or something. I don't know.
I don't know why you cut out.
So basically what I was saying is I don't cold invite, and this is your business, so you can do what works for you. But I just don't feel good about cold invites. And what I mean by that is sending messages to people that you don't know and that have never liked or commented or watched any of your stories. They haven't interacted with you. So the way that I know Brittany and I do invites is that, first of all, we need to be posting and having things on our stories so that we have something for them to interact with, for us to then invite them to join us. So again, this is your business, so you can take the parts that you want and adjust them how it works for you. I've gone in different flows with posting, and right now what works best for me is to post just once a day. And this is usually, not always, sometimes I'll do more, or whatever, is to post once a day. And usually I've been skipping Saturdays. Just people are probably busy on Saturdays, I don't know, but I for sure do not miss Sunday night and Monday night, because those are the nights that people are like reevaluating their life and reevaluating what's been going on and what went on last week and getting ready for a new week. So I do not miss those nights. I like to try to use like transformation photos those nights, things like that. And so those are posts like that I put on my Instagram and Facebook, and I put them in both places for myself. Now some of those are like, basically I'll tell a story, and then at the end it'll be some kind of like call to action, a CTA. So like, hey girl, if you ever felt the same, drop me your favorite emoji and I'll send you a message, or whatever you wrap it up with, because now you're going to go back in a day or so, and everybody that liked that post, you're going to send them a message. And this has changed for me over the course of a year as well. I used to send kind of a longer message, and I would say something to the effect of like, hey Susie, thanks so much for liking my post, I really appreciate it. Like, it's not always or at least I think I have, is I just write them, hey, have you ever thought about joining my boot camp? Or hey, do you want to join my boot camp? Like, one sentence, like, keep it simple. We don't want to word vomit on people. Nobody wants the extra. So that's it. So then the other piece though is to be on your stories. So even though I personally only post typically 6 days a week, I skip Saturdays, I am on my stories like every day. So in some way, shape, or form. And granted, I was on a vacation, so I really wasn't on it on Monday, but that was like one day in a long time. So I show up in some way. If I'm taking a rest day for my workouts, which I know Brittany knows I usually do something. I'll work on that. But share that you're taking a rest day, because people need to know that they don't have to work out every single day to join us, because there's 4-day-a-week program. So anyway, show up on your stories, and then what you can do is
that Instagram makes sense why we have all those people who are checking in every day without a rest day because of you.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
your
I know.
people.
Like Jen, who doubles up every day that she doesn't work out. And,
Every
yeah,
day.
okay. They're my people.
They're your people.
So then on Instagram and Facebook, when you click on your own story, like if you're rewatching your story, you then click on it, and there's like a little eyeball or whatever in the corner with a number. And if you tap that, it will give you the list of people that are watching your story. And it's super nice and handy. You can click the like airplane button, message button, and you can send them a message. Like you can copy and paste. Hey, I see you watched my story. Have you ever thought about joining me? Send. Like click, 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 send, and invite people. You'll find out most people, Brittany and I and Alexa and people have been in this for a few months now or more. Most people are not going to reach out to us first. They need that like olive branch. They need that hand extended to be like, yeah, I have been watching you. Or your invite can also be a seed, like you're planting a seed. Now they're going to say, well, who is this girl? I just stumbled over her story and I clicked through it. I didn't listen to her, but hey, she wrote me a message. They might go to your page and they're probably going to look like, oh, geez, what's she doing? And maybe they're going to relate to something that you're doing. And then maybe they're going to start creeping on your stories and seeing if you're going to still show up and say what and do what you said you were going to do. And then now you follow up with those people. And so don't be afraid to invite people more than once. There's people that I've invited like 5 times or more, literally, that have never written me back once. But they keep watching my stories and liking. Yes, 7. Brittany sent 7. They keep liking my posts and watching my stories. So they're just not ready yet for us. Apparently, that's probably the case. But someday they're going to be. And you need to be the one that's inviting them when they're ready.
So, I think Candace froze, so I'll chime in here quick. The other thing is like, you froze. So the other thing is like, you kind of feel like you're a burden to people, like you've invited them and now it's been a month and you haven't invited them again. And you're like, I don't know, they're continually watching like that. I mean, I have people, so I'm going on a year in September, I think, a year in business. And I have had people watch me from day one who have yet to sign up, but they are religiously watching my stories. I invite them every month. Like maybe it's not this time. Maybe it's not maybe it's not next time. I'm not here to convince them to join me. Like I'm not convincing them. I'm inviting them. Like, hey, I know it didn't work out for you last time. I just want you to know, I just wanted to follow up and see if like this month is better for you. Like it's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, like just something simple like that. I'm not trying to say like, this is your month. You need to join me now, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just inviting them and saying like, I know it didn't I know it didn't work out. Like they might have even ghosted me. Most of these people have ghosted me from day one. I'm still inviting them because they're still watching. Like they obviously have showed some interest and like every once in a while they'll be like, oh, you're so inspiring and blah, blah. It's not my time. Or like today it was, I have a really busy workload and I'm graduating next week. But at the end of August, like hit me up. So like I will follow up with her. I put in my calendar at the end of August, I'm going to follow up with her. So it's just things like that. Like just because they ghost you, don't take it personal. Like it is not a personal thing. It is 100% like where they're at in their life. Like, has anyone got a hate message yet? Yeah. So Katie, Heather, this may happen to you. And I just want you to know it is not you. It is 100% not you. It is where they're at, whatever they have going on. And it's a rude awakening. I'm not going to lie. I think we could all say like, whoa, but it's 100% not you. You are simply inviting to them into something. This has completely changed your life or you wouldn't be here, right? So just think of it that way. I'll let Candace take back over.
And those are great points. And the other part too, I think of is when they are ready, you want to be the one that's there inviting them, because somebody else will, or they'll see someone else doing something else and they're going to go there instead of with you. And that has happened to me. So then that's why it just, when you've experienced those things, you know, I know Alexa knows because this happened to like both of us, that you.
Okay. I might not be where she was going with this, but in my head, I think like people need to know that you're open for business. Like if you are sporadically posting,
It's not. It's not annoying. Shoot, did I freeze again? We're running a business, and so when you follow up, that's professional. You're supposed to do that. It's not annoying. It's not a burden. It's not a bother. You're being professional and you're running a business. So follow up. Okay. Should we start some tasks now? Some work? Okay. So your first task, and I'm just going to time it for 5 minutes. You're going to go onto Facebook and Instagram, whichever, and you're going to, in real life, they look interesting, you have something in common, and you're going to follow, like friend request them, follow them, even if you don't know them, you're going to follow them, like some of their. You
okay.
got 5 minutes to go follow. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I'm just going to wrap up what I think you said. Okay. So we're going to connect with 5 new people, Facebook or Instagram. You are going to connect with them because something about them stands out for you, whether it's like they have an interesting feed and you have something in common, whatever it is. You are not going to invite them. You are just literally going to either send them a friend request or like a follow link. And then, you know, like obviously if you are on Instagram and you saw like other stuff that they're the reason you follow them, go like those things so they see you a few more times. That's all you're doing. You're just looking for 5 new contacts, and we have 5 minutes. So yes, this is kind of a research thing. You don't just want to like follow everyone. You want to follow people who are like you and that you have something in common with. Just a quick note, we have like 40 seconds left, but I just kind of realized we might not have mentioned. So if you're on Instagram and you're looking for 5 people to connect with, and you're new to Instagram and you don't really know like who or where to find your people, one, go to like maybe a friend from high school or a friend from college, somebody that like you relate to and like you feel like you are compatible with, or maybe there's some kind of blogger out there or something like that. And then you can go through people who follow them and then just kind of like look through and see if there's people there to follow. Just because I was like, oh wait, we didn't really go into that, but that's where we're at if you're looking for people to connect with. That was our timer too, so we're at 10 minutes, Candace.
All right, next task. So depending on where you're at with, if you have posts out there, you've made posts or you've made stories, then you're going to get 10 minutes now to go send invites. Like actually send invites, invite people to join our boot camp that starts on Monday. That's the perfect thing. You can all put people in there. That's for everybody. If you're ready to push your comfort zone a bit, Facebook Messenger and Instagram Messenger have a voice for your personality and not think that you're just copy and pasting messages to people. So if you're ready to try that, try that. If you don't have any posts out there or any Instagram stories out there, then you should start there and try to get on your stories and make a post. But right now, 10 minutes to get some invites out. Okay.
One quick thing. So just in case, I want to make sure everybody knows what's going, at least, okay. So Alexa, if you are with Alexa, you guys are going to be in a different group on July 29th. If you are with Candace, myself, Emily, Heather, Sammy, I'm going blank on some, but anyways, like if you're in our group currently and you are under Alexa or with Alexa in some sort of way, you guys are going to be starting a new group on Monday, July 29th, which is super exciting because that means that we are growing and we need to create a new space. So with that said, if you are with Candace, myself, or anywhere that I haven't mentioned, July 29th, we are starting a new boot camp. So the Say Yes boot camp is where you're going to want to put people. It is attached to the announcements in our group. So that is the link that you're going to want to make sure people are joining us with. We are going to be somewhat morning meltdown focused, but really it's committing to any program calendar for 25 plus days in the month. And then we are going to be doing the energy bus, and we have a bunch of fun things planned. So that's just kind of like the background of where our boot camp's going, and that's what you're inviting to. Doesn't have to be morning meltdown. We're really just trying to like commit to a fitness and nutrition plan for like a lot of the month. Like we're not like half in, we are going all in August. So that's where we're at. That's what we're inviting to.
Last thing, if you have questions while you're doing this or someone writes you back and you're like, hey, what would you guys say to this? This is a time to put that out there, ask those things. This would be perfect to share those things. So
Candace, can you give an example of what your invite would look like to someone who currently either watched this, if you do watch the story, I think you've already done that, but liked some sort of boot camp post?
Yeah, literally I'm going to say, I'll read it to you. I'm going to go back to one of my last couple posts of where I posted a call to action of some sort. And I'm going to say, hey girl, want to join my boot camp? We start Monday. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, here's another one. I don't want to go that route. This is the one I use this for a long, long time. I said, hey, thank you for liking my post. I totally appreciate the support. It's not always easy to post like that. I just wanted to follow my nudge to reach out and see if you have ever thought about joining me with some at-home workouts. My next boot camp starts July 29th. So I have used both a lot. So it's, I don't, you got to word it how you would sound. Because if they met you in person and you sound way different than that, that's not a good thing. You want to sound how you sound.
I totally love your new one because you're opening and inviting conversation, which is where you want this to go. Like, just because you're inviting them, again, we're not convincing. We are sharing this opportunity, and like, you want to create conversation to know if this is right for them. One for you and one for them. Like, you want to know that, making sure that they're getting in the place that they belong, but it's also someone you could work with. Like, if they're hating on Beachbody, and like, you're not telling them it's Beachbody, but like, if you're like at home workouts and they're like, oh, you're a Beachbody coach, well, we're not trying to convince them, and we don't want them going back out and saying like, oh, this Beachbody coach, she was so pushy, blah. Like, that's not what we're here for. We're just trying to like invite people to this opportunity to see if it's for them.
Yeah, exactly. We're just providing information for those that want it. And if you don't want it, you don't want it. But the short one does provoke conversation, because some people will write back and be like, well, what is it? Or like, they'll say, where is it at? Or they'll write you back thinking they have an excuse, and they'll say, oh, I can't because like I'm busy next week. I can't meet at a gym, or like something like, and you're like, oh, but it's not, and you can work anyway. So anyway, I've been digging that one, but all right, let's go to work.
I just wanted to say for the boot camp that Alexa's people are going to, we are doing the energy bus as well. And then, we're going to do committing to 100 workouts as well. And it's the Sparkly New Boot Camp. So you can kind of like advertise it as that. That's the gig. But yep. And then we're going to do some raffles and some prizes, as well as like some different like day themes to like kind of spruce it up. So, but mainly the energy bus and 100 workouts. But I haven't told everybody that yet, so I would just.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to get to work. So when Morning Meltdown came out, I was like, 100 workouts? Like, I cannot commit to 100 workouts. Like, this is before most of your time besides Candace, but like when 80 Day Obsession came out, I got to day 50 and had to start over like 2 different times. So like, to wrap my mind around it, but it's like, no, I'm just committing to doing a workout 20 to 30 minutes a day, and like, that's all it is. So if you're having a hard time wrapping your mind around the 100 days, that's what I committed to, and I'm like, I'm 100% okay with promoting that. Like, I know I'm going to do 100 workouts for 20 to 30 minutes a day, because that's what I've been doing. So I'm not looking at it like the huge picture. So I don't know if that helps anyone, but I needed to hear that.
Okay, I think that's been about 10 minutes. So we're just going to do one more task. And as we keep doing these team calls and power hours and things, we'll add to it. So there's a lot of extra explaining this time, but obviously this will go quicker as we all get better at these things. So our last one we're going to do, and for this experience and who you are now or who you're going to be. And then at the end, put a little call to action on there, like, hey, if you were late, like drop an emoji or drop a heart. So make a post or stories. If you've already posted today, you can get your post ready so that you can post it tomorrow. So you have it ready in advance. That's one thing I do to save time is I might write 2 or 3 posts at once, and I'll save them like in the notes of my phone or in an app that I like to use called Planoly, I think it's called. And I'll just save that so that I have them ready. When I am busy, I can still get my post up. So whether you're going to go do a post or make a story of some kind, do that. Otherwise, if you have clients to check in with or a group to check in with and comment on how people are doing, or send private messages to your clients to, check in with them, cheer them on, this is also a good time to do that as well. So good luck. Any questions about this, feel free to pop on as well.
I'm going to ask Alexa so one of the summit trainings that we were at was talking about how to like design a post to make it effective. And it talked about like old self, what something happened, and then like where you are today. And Alexa had a really, really, really good post this week. Not that they're not all like, she is very good for posts. So if you don't follow, This Is My Journey, Alexa, I might have got that wrong, but she really does awesome with her posts. But she also has an incredible transformation. Since she started in November, she's lost 20 pounds. But put that aside, like pretend this isn't a transformation. I thought she had a lot of non-scale victories in her post as well. Can you talk about do you know what post I'm talking about?
Is it this one?
It's your one you did on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not saying like you don't, you can do, like you have a really good like old explosion new, and I just want people to like understand that. So like I feel like you've had some good ones in the last week that would make sense to that.
For sure. Okay, yes, for sure. Okay, so I posted my transformation pictures, which for me are like my biggest boom. I get the most likes, I get the most comments, I get the most messages, like those are huge. Not that you need to have a transformation photo to be successful, but even if it's not like my 20 pounds, like it could be your face, and it could just be like your smile of like you can see the light in your eyes, like it changes. So it could seriously be that. Not that you have to post a transformation, but so in this one I said, do these pants seriously not fit too? I honestly started this journey to live a healthier life, and didn't think it would work, if I'm being honest. I've tried out workouts in the past, and I've tried eating better, and I've never seen results. And then I said, like, this time, this is what changed for me. I put my foot down and said, this is what I'm doing for me, and I made the decision. And I talked about like what the difference is of like, or what the difference was when I tried it before and what it is now. And I couldn't come up with any excuses because my workouts were only 20 minutes. I could do them in my dorm room with very little space, get them in between classes or between work. Um, and then I also had the accountability group like picking me up, and um, especially in the beginning, I would say like I ate this and I ate that because I would look at everything else that everybody else was doing. I was comparing my now to their now, and theirs is obviously different because we're all on a different path. So I talked about how I wasn't expected to be perfect and how that really helped. And then I go into now those differences are what got me the bonus of losing $20. $20. Oh my gosh, 20 pounds. Um, I never knew I needed to lose, and a job in a community that lifts me up every day. So you can also check that out. It's on my Facebook for sure. I think I have the same photo but a different caption on Instagram. So if you want to look at that specific post, you can go to Facebook, and it's just Alexa Williams, and I believe it's the same profile picture. But just like talking about where I was, where my thoughts were, what I did to change it, and like how Beachbody helped change that, and now where I'm at.
All right, so I think we'll wrap it up. It's been about 7 minutes. Just the last couple takeaways, and obviously feel free to keep working if you're cruising now tonight when we're done. But break these little things up during your day. If you have 5 minutes, you're sitting in the car waiting to pick your kids up from practice or, whatever, swimming lessons, do these things. Don't forget to follow people on social media and grow your following. Don't forget to send your invites. Don't forget to interact with people on social media. I'm an introvert by nature, and I'd rather just keep to myself usually, but this job, we do need to be putting ourselves out there. So we need to interact with them so that it draws people to our pages and they can see what we're all about. So break these tasks up, get them done as often as you can, because they are business building activities. Also, if you're not yet, like Alexa's talking about having transformation photos, and I know that like my uplines coach Brittany and our coach, she doesn't have really necessarily like a weight loss journey. She's gained muscle and things like that, so her transformation pictures aren't as drastic as someone who's lost a lot of weight. But like Alexis had said, you can still have transformations of your mind and things like that. And if you don't if you're not a proof of the product working, be a product of the product. Yet make sure that you're ready to dial it in with us and commit to those 100 days, because you will be able to photo whether it's muscle or pounds down or inches lost or whatever, if you commit as you can for 100 days. So be proof of the product working, because you are your biggest billboard walking around for your business. But thanks for joining us, ladies. And if you're watching on the replay, feel free to comment or send your coaches or comment in our group page with questions or other takeaways or ideas.